Hello, so today we're making I'm making a tutorial for how to make the live series with command blocks. The first thing you want to do, you want to press escape, go into options, controls, and make sure this is set to on, because that will give you this, so you don't have to give yourself command block. The first thing you want to do is do /team add, then you want to make your team, so you want to do dark_green, then you can just add green, then yellow, red, and finally red. Now we can just /team modify color and set it to dark green. One thing to note, some things in this tutorial, it requires the word color, and for some reason it doesn't work if you have the British spelling of color on, but then it doesn't let you put the American spelling, so just make sure you say your language to or English US to make sure everything works properly. First thing, do it. So green. Then you set yellow to yellow, red to red, and finally you can set the dead team to grey. Okay, now that's all done. You want to do /scoreboard objectives add, and then this we're going to call live criteria. We can actually do kills, so you want to use it as custom player kills. This is only if you want life steal. If you don't want life steal, just put this to deaths, and then you'll have to also modify some other things, but other than that you should just be able to follow this. So you do lives, then you can do scoreboard objective set display sidebar lives. Okay, so now the lives is on the side of the screen. So this is where we're going to first find first command. So execute at A, and then what you're going to do is put team equals and then leave a blank, and then as at A, and then team equals blank. This is just so when someone joins in and they don't have a team, it'll give them a thing. So you then want to do run scoreboard players players set, and then at S live to 6. Okay, that, and then always active, so you see you've got 6. Now you want to place this other command block which but if you were to do with no live steal, you could set this to 0. Then do execute at all players with the scores. This is very confusing. You put these 2 curly brackets, not those ones, but the ones on top of these. Then you do scores, and then you want to do lives equals 4 ... But if you're wanting to do valid live steal, you do ... 2, but I'm not. But I'm doing with live steal, so it's 4 ... This just means 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 6. And then actually if we can press shift and hold the arrow key, we can copy this and paste it here. And then you want to do run, team, join, then dark green for the current entity or current player. Then make sure this is also on always active. Look, now we're on green or dark green. Then you want to press Control, middle click to get an exact copy of the command block. Place another one down. Then you can just do 3. Enter this one. Enter it 3. This one can stay the same if you're doing without lifesteal. And then you just come here and change this to a green. And then that should work. And you can do this again if you want. It doesn't really matter. Then you can do yellow. Actually, I'll put a hashtag there. Yellow at S. And this will be 2. But if you're doing without lifesteal, it will be 4. And then this will be 1 life. 1 life. And then set this to red. Of course, these will be 5 otherwise. Then you come here. You then change this to ... 0 and ... 0, or you could do, what is it? It's 6 ... if you're doing without lifesteal. Green, and then set this one to dead. But we can't, this isn't done yet. We still got to add it because this only goes up when our lives only go up when we get killed, not when we die. So what we want to do is just place down a regular command block. But first we gotta do scoreboard, objectives, add, and then death criteria, and just put it to death count, and that's all you need to do. So what you then do is you then do execute at, and you can just paste that thing in from earlier, but instead of lives you can put death. Oh, I put the wrong thing. Death, and set it to 1 as. You don't have to do this if you're just doing without a lifesteal. Death equals 1, and then run scoreboard, players, remove from the current entity or yourself, lives 1, done, and then set this always active, and then change this to a chain command block, and then actually we can just come into this one, come here, press shift and backspace to copy all of this, because that was cool. Copy all of this into here, and then you run scoreboard players, and then you can do reset current entity death. So if we do /kill, okay, so we messed something up. Death equals 1. So yeah, this is all working. Obviously, we've got to set this to always active. So we can do scoreboard players. Oh no, if we check this, we do /team leave, and then yourself, and then because you're not no longer in team, this command block activates, putting you back in the team, which is good. So the final thing you want to do is just on this, so this is another active command block, and then just Control A, say this, Okay. And then instead you can put game mode spectator. So if you do -q, that brings down to 5, 4, 3. Now on light green. 2, 1 life with red. And then finally, when we die again, we're on 0 and we're being set spectator. But then we do game mode creative, doesn't work. So what we've got to do now is we do team leave. So yeah, just keep in mind. Now, if you just want a basic life series, this will do perfectly fine. But if you want a boogeyman, this is where we do that. So we need to get some actual redstone stuff for this. We're going to be using triggers, which are a little bit more complex. They should be easy to understand. Just follow along with what I'm doing and you'll get it. Okay. So, what you want is you get command block, and then you can do title for all players, the title, and then this is some complex stuff. Then you put 2 curly brackets, put text, colon, quotation mark, then you put you are ... You can just leave here, but I like to do comma, quotation, then color, quotations, colon, quotations, and then if you put it to green, then quotations, you can do that. And then if you do this, it says you are, and then the signal comes along here. Before we do that, we gotta do one last scoreboard. So a couple of scoreboard objectives add. Then we can call it boogie, because boogie, and then just set it to dummy. Just now then set it to a chain always active, and then click scoreboard players. Then set a random player boogie to 1. Done. And after that, so here we can do title all players which scores boogie is 0. Then title we can do nothing from earlier, so text, then not the boogeyman, and then again do comma, quotations, colon quotations, then come to this one, type color, then type yellow. You can put this as green, but I like to keep it as yellow. Then keep a chain always active command block, which you can actually just Control A and Control C. Or chain always active, but at the start here, instead of doing a boogie of 1, it sets a boogie of 0. It does a boogie of 1, and then instead of just doing that, you can put the boogeyman, and then I just like capitalize it for some extra oomph, and then change to color, and then you can put dark _ red. For some reason there's dark red but no actual red, which I find weird. So if you put you are the boogeyman, Of course, for our purposes, I'll always be the boogeyman because it's such a random player on the server, but I'm the only person here, so it'll always be me. So, you can do that. But instead of having a button activated, you can actually just put a command block here and you can say hello for all players. It doesn't need anything special after this. Then you can just do one of these once again. Text, and then you can put the boogeyman is about to be chosen. ... Come here and then accidentally put this outside quotation marks. And then you can put dark_red. So when this one's activated, it says in chat the boogeyman is about to be chosen. So how do we activate these? Here's how. We first get two comparators, place one into this one and one to here, because this will activate here. Then, once again, we need to create a scoreboard, objectives, add. These are the last two. We put warning, or anything you want. It just doesn't matter. Warning and set the criteria to a trigger. Yeah. And then you do it again, but this time set it to choose. Then make sure it's still on trigger. Okay, so we do execute if it doesn't need any of that. Score of you, this can just be you because you'll be the only one that can trigger it. If the choose, because this is the line where choose is the person, if the choose matches 1, it needs to be matches not equals, because I don't know why. If it matches 1, then run. It needs to run to give an output where you can just put help, because in command block it doesn't really do stuff. You also have to type /game rule command block output false, so you don't get a bunch of notifications whenever this runs. So always active, it doesn't do that. But if I then type /trigger, it's not there. So one last thing we need to do is we need to put a command block here. It doesn't need to be anything, it can be repeat, and then we can do scoreboard players enable, and you only want to enable for yourself, and then choose. So now if we do /trigger, always active, /trigger choose, it says you are the boogeyman. But you can see this stays on, so we've got to come up here and place another command block. So it says, what does it say? It says scoreboard players set your name for choose to 0, so it resets it. But of course we're just going to have to break and reactivate it for the command block to actually activate. And then you can control middle click on that to get a copy of it, but only this time choose it for warning. Oh, I put this on the wrong thing. It needs to be on this pillar, the warning. Because then you get these two command blocks again. Done. And then this only does it if the command block warning is activated, and then if this one enables your warning. And after all that, if you if you triggered the warning, it's put in chat the boogeyman is about to be chosen. And then if you do /choose, however long after you want people to react, you can just, it brings up the notifications, the boogeyman. There's no way currently, or I can't figure out how you do it. So there's no way I've figured out how to make it so that boogeyman has to kill someone for them to be cured. You just kind of little notification, and they'll still have the score for the rest of the session or however long you play for. So you got just judge it yourself. Just run through some commands to uncure them. If they fail, just use something of your choosing. But that's everything you need to make live series. And just again, if you kill, and kill 4, 3, 2, 1, and then finally, when you're in your last life, you're in spectator mode because you're a ghost. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realise you could see your head in spectator mode. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.